right, hello. My name is Fardad, and if you think you sit back there so we can't hear you, you're going to get the microphone. Here you are. All right, so, and then his turn, and it's going to come forward, okay? All right, it's a small classroom. Let's all get together and get closer. My name is Fardad. You see my name over there, up there? Oh, doesn't work, does it? Yeah, it works. One more. There we go. Okay. My name is Fardad. I'm going to take care of your OOP244 this semester. The very first thing that we're going to do, as usual, it's a land acknowledgement. And then we are going to continue.
Ani sego wache bojo pegotit. Senecas knomagem kum mina mampi akingetek mi gwanda enagdanjgejik. Nishnabek dat minahod nushoni. Dapnanan Treaty 13 Toronto Purchase. Ganoswin Kadmuat Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. Minwa Williams Treaty. Ginoswin Kadmuat Mississaugas Minachipwas. Kinago Enching, Treaty Vemadsajik, Abdeko, Qui Mandoki me, Kinamadwin, Man Nadwin. Meanwhile, we Nagdwin Mang, Nongo Manda, Kigiyabe, En Daat, Yawan, Mibna, Nishnabek, Mina Meti, Mina Inuit. Kitchlenda me, Kina Mamwe we, Nagdwenj, Ge Man. Da ake mina nebish.
All right. As I was saying, my name is Fardad, and I will be taking care of the OOP244 this semester. I think I just closed it. Let me open it one more time. First, I'm going to go through some boring stuff. So talk, explaining how things are going to happen in this class. First thing, study notes. Please make sure for your first and utmost important thing is to open your subject, go through your subject, and see what is there regarding the information that we have in class. For the study notes, the standard thing like you have done in IPC 144, probably you had the same thing. You're going to have all the information over there with all the things that we are going to talk about, what we're going to study and work on throughout the semester. In-class notes, I don't think it's updated. In-class notes going to be on GitHub, which is going to be a private repository. It's a separate repository than Seneca. It's not, you have done in IPC 144, you have done GitHub, right? Did you have your private repository or was in Seneca organization? Was it created for you by your professor? Okay, so we are not doing that. You have to create your own private account on GitHub. I'll tell you about the details of the things that you have to do. So GitHub. Not Fardad, that's my account. Let's go to, where do I go? OOP244. So it's the organization. So this is where you're going. No, not here, here. Seneca, I have to fix that. It's Seneca College, Seneca Polytechnic. Anyways, so you see over here it says OOP244 NAA and NBB notes. That's where everything's going to go in class. Anything I do in class, immediately it's going to get pushed over there. So I'm going to actually copy that URL and put it in here. So in-class notes are going to go over here. So edit. There we go, save. So you click over there, it's going to bring you to that. Yes?
The course on the Blackboard I cannot access. It's still closed.
I opened it like 5 times. Let me see if it's closed still. Course settings. Go closed again. Could you please check to see if it's closed? Is it open now? Anyway, so I don't know what happened. They closed it again. Anyway, so yeah. Thank you very much. All right, so the study notes, if you click on, study notes is the what we're going to learn. Emergency online session, if it becomes available, it brings you to a meeting that is right now going on actually. If you open your Teams, you are already a member of OOP244 team. I already sent you an invite. If you haven't received an invite, let me know on Microsoft Teams and I will add it to you. As you see, right now it's being recorded and I'm sharing actually the screen. So after the session is gone on Teams, you will see the recording of the session. If it's a bad snowstorm, like it's Canada, snowstorm something normal, but I mean like if it's like snowstorm that we cannot get out of the thing, I usually don't cancel the class. We still do it, but I'm going to do it online. So you are going to join this meeting and you're going to be part of the online thing that we're going to do. But there's a rule for it, which means you must make sure your microphone works. You cannot log in to a meeting without a working microphone. I don't want text messages through the thing because I'm talking to you guys and I don't actually look. I'm looking at the screen with all the things that I'm talking about. I don't look at the text messages coming through. So you activate your microphone, you ask questions as if you're in class, and you mute yourself. And that's that. So that's that. So let me see if in-class notes are okay now. Yes, we're good. As you see, you are in NAA section. NBB already had 2 sessions, so there are 2. They're at the beginning of the thing. So these are the things that I have done in that class. Every single class you go in, as soon as you open it, you will see the stuff that I have done in class. Everything's going to be right there. Okay? So there is no need to take notes in class on your computer. And about computers, our head has 1 processor, not 2. You look at your monitor, you're not listening to me. It's a myth. If you want to take notes in class, bring paper and pen. These things are just distraction. This is science, research, done, and it's proven. This will not get committed to your long-term memory. Writing will, because you are listening to me, you have to translate that to muscle movement, and that commits it to your memory. This is nothing. But I am not against it. If you think you are okay with it and you want to use it, by all means, I'm not going to get close it. The only way that you're going to see that I'm going to say, laptop's closed, if you hear that, it means I saw somebody is smiling at their screen. I see that, done. Everybody closes. And I'm not going to tell who it was. This is not kindergarten. I'm not going to go through and say, why did you do that? I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to put myself on ease and I say, everybody close it. So if you are using it, by all means, please go ahead. If you're comfortable with it, I have no objection. I'm just giving you hard truth and fact. Screen is only a distraction. It will not help you learn anything during teaching. You have plenty of time to go through all this stuff in your studying time. Anyways, just letting you know, no shame. Everybody has it, I know. I used to have it in class, but now I know I'm not supposed to. Anyways, course information, GitHub organization, workshops, and everything are all on GitHub, and everything's on there, so you can just go over there and see exactly what it is. Addendum, as soon as it's approved, it's going to become available. Right now, it's pointing to last semester's addendum. So when you click over here, you will see the addendum of the last semester. You have to click on login to see the details. So what you see over here when it says B10 yada yada, it was last semester. So this is not the one. I'm going to update it to the new one and give you the proper link. But at the moment, you just look at this because it has all the information you want. Nothing has changed. It is exactly the same. And please go through your addendum and read it. I don't know how to put it in a students don't read anymore. I don't know why. Okay? And I'll prove it to you. You're going to see the first time that you're going to come for a lab, I'll prove it to you that you won't read instructions. They don't. Okay? I have no idea why, what happened, but we don't anymore. Okay? And it happened in past, after 2014, and after that, as soon as social media like TikTok and short videos and stuff came to the thing, students start, all younger generation started losing their concentration because your brain is being trained to watch 30-second things and finalize. So your brain is not used to look at something for an hour and a half to understand and get a result at the end. That's how the big companies are formatting our brains. So you go like that in 30 second, 30 second, 30 second, 30 second, and that's how essentially they fry your brain. We don't read anymore. We can only look at something for 30 seconds and we get bored. You have to overcome that, okay? It's very important to do so. Anyways, so again, please read all the information over here. It tells you exactly how the subject is and how you're gonna pass the subject and everything. And all the time it happens at, what, if I get this, will I pass the subject? It's there. Read it, please. It tells you exactly what it is. All the information that you need is there, and if you don't know, if anything's unclear, please contact me, and I'll go through it with you. The class, you will see, it's an extremely friendly class, and I don't believe in professor-student relation type of a thing. I'll try to be here like your friend and try to teach you in most casual way. Please do not call me professor and stuff like that. My name is Fardat, and if you call me that, I would really appreciate it. So all the things that I'm giving you right now are just frank, complete truth. I'm just giving you facts right now, and I'm gonna treat you as adults, let's put it that way. So that's that. Faculty information. If you send me email, I'm going to answer you after you graduate. I do not check my emails. Email is just spam. I receive 3,000 emails a day. Now you're going to send me something and tell me, Fardat, can you help me with this? I'm not going to be able to see it, frankly, okay? That's why I switched all the communication with students to Microsoft Teams. Send me a private message on Teams if you have a private matter to discuss, anything. So you simply go in and you take a look at it, you will see exactly what's going on right now. Take a look. I know exactly I have 8 messages, and these are my students. That's the first thing that I look at, not my email. So any message, anything you have, please send message to me on Microsoft Teams. The good thing about it is that, first of all, we're going to have history of all of our conversation in one thing. I can see exactly where you come from. I don't have to remember exactly what happened. Just simply go through everything and I remember what happened. That's number one. Number two, it's quick and easy. That is why I do not have an office hour. My office hour is through booking through Microsoft Teams. Anytime I'm available, that's your office hour. Okay? If I give you 2 hours, say this time to that time, half of you are going to have another class at the time. So it is impossible to contact me. Because of that, you are going to get your information, get in contact with me through Microsoft Teams. You expand that this one, the very first thing is how to book an appointment for help with subject material. So I'm a big fan of recording. Somebody's joining here.
Not me.
No, somebody. No, it doesn't matter, join. But please mute and reduce your thing, because when reflection comes like that, it means somebody joined and it gets the feedback. Okay, what I was saying? I easily get distracted. My apologies. Yeah, so I'm a big fan of recording. So if you go on YouTube, type FAR.OOP244, ages of lectures will come up in playlists. Every single thing that I teach, first it's going to go on Microsoft Team recording. So essentially, you will see, because I used to have individual ones, I made a boo-boo and I forgot to mention the thing. So in here it says January 1st, 5th welcome. That's for section NBB. My apologies. The first two doesn't have titles, but for this one I have right now, NAA January 7th welcome. So as soon as it's finished, you click on details, it says recap, and the video is over there. So you have the video to revisit. That doesn't mean not to come to class. I'm just giving you something so you can go review if you want to, okay? Or if you miss a class, it's there. But that sometimes backfires by students not coming, saying that, hey, I'm going to watch the recording later. Who cares? I'm not going to come to class. It happens all the time. And please don't do that. Being present in class is extremely important. We are social creatures. Alone at home looking at a screen, your brain doesn't work properly. I'm sorry, this is what it is. It's millions of years of evolution. You cannot change it in 10 years of your lifetime. Your brain is wired that way. You need to sit beside people to be able to have a correct and healthy state of mind and learn, okay? That's why I hate online classes. Although it's much more convenient for me. I can sit at my home, beside my computer, comfort of my home, and teach, but it doesn't work properly. Anyways. So, next. I know I look like that old grandfather that, when I was your age, I used to go, it was both way to school. Anyways, so I understand that, but please, these are just facts. I am an extremely science pro person. Anything that I hear, I look for a paper or evidence to believe. That's why anything you hear from me is 100% me looking for it 50 times at different places to see some truth behind it. I don't, excuse my French, bullshit. I'll tell you what I know it's true. And if it's not true, I would be your humble servant if you correct me, okay? I would really appreciate that. So anything that you think is not true and you have some evidence that is not true, you tell me. Online Office is the group that you're a member of right now. This is the one. So I strongly suggest to collaborate. If you have problem with anything, just go over here, not in this reply, in the general section, and post in channel and say, I have problem with this topic, can anybody help me? And if you see somebody ask for help and you know how to do it, help others. I have 2 sections and all my students collaborate. And if I pick it up, I'll answer. But if you really need help, send a message to me. Now, in here, you see this dot over here? That's why I say respect the dot. What is that dot? If that dot is green or yellow, you can call me. You don't even need to send a message. Just call me, okay? Don't book an appointment. Booking an appointment guarantees that I am at the time available. So you're 100% having a meeting with me. Calling me, it means either I'm on the computer and I'm green, it means I'm available, or I am not on the computer, I'm away, but I'm hearing it, okay? Either I'm gonna answer your call, or I'm gonna see there's a missed call and I'm gonna send you a message or call you, say, hey, what's up? You had a question, okay? So you can easily do that, there's absolutely no problem, but you can book an appointment too. But booking an appointment must be done through Scheduling Assistant. So please look at that video. It's pretty simple and straightforward. You simply go to Calendar and you set a time, and my calendar is always up to date on what we have, okay? So you select the time that you want to talk to me, and you go on More Options. Invite whoever you want to invite, and then there's a Scheduling Assistant. You see over here it says Scheduler. You click on that one. Then you find the common times between you and I. You select that time, see Farda is available for that time, Kathy is available too. So that's a good time to do it. If I'm not available, or it says there are 3 different options for the thing. One is available, the other one is not available, and tentative. So tentative ones are the ones that I'm not sure. Oh, cancel. Oh, cancel. Discard. Yeah, discard. I'm not going to book any meeting. So the tentative one is the one that I don't know if I have something. You can book an appointment, but 70% possible that it's going to get declined. Okay? For the ones that are available, again, 30% it's going to get declined. Okay? I'm not telling you. So if we are both available, and at the same time I have another, like my prof, another prof is asking me a meeting, that has a priority. I have to help them with something. So again, please understand it. Lance and Denver, you're here, right? Perfect. Just want to make sure that nobody's connecting online. Okay. Yeah, that's that. Okay, back to, gotta make sure that I don't, because it's recorded, if I click on chat and it goes on something that is private, then yeah, it's gonna be bad. Okay, anyways, so I'm gonna close this one, and we're good. So if you click on online office, it's going to bring you to that team. So it's going to bring you to that team. Oh, extremely important, install Microsoft Teams. Don't use the web version. Because when you install the Teams, I can actually take over your computer. So if something goes wrong and I need to take over your computer and help you, I can. With a web, I can't. It just shows what you're doing, and it's going to be a disaster. And I do not do in-person meetings at all. It's absolutely useless. I have to sit beside you. We have to sit side by side on a computer that I don't know what it is. It's very difficult. And I'll tell you exactly how the help process is going to happen, and you're going to love it. Okay? We're going to go through it in a second. Faculty information, again, all the things that I mentioned to you are there, so I'm actually mentioning in here. As you see, I'm saying email for emergencies and logging only, which means some unfortunate thing happened and you cannot come to the final. You had an accident. You want to quickly send me something to log it so I know that I'm deferring you for that thing so you can do it later. Okay? Things like that. You send me an email, but don't send an email asking for something, because I'm not going to see it. This is something that you're going to tell me. I sent you an email before quiz 2, and I didn't come. I'd look at it and say, good, no problem, you can do it tomorrow in test center. Something like that, okay? That number that you see rings Microsoft Teams. So if you call that, my Microsoft team rings. And it gives you a number, so I can call you back to wherever you're calling me from. So if you're calling me from your cell phone, I'll call you back on your cell phone. Office hours by appointment only, how to book an appointment, yada, yada, yada. It's mentioned everything. And methods of communication, Microsoft Teams, direct messaging, calls, or booked appointments. Please, no emails. Okay? Thank you. Today is boring, I'm telling you, but what can we do? Quizzes. We're going to have total of 5 quizzes, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, okay? These 5 quizzes that we have, 2 of them are going to be before midterm, 3 after. I will give you the questions before the quiz, a day or 2 days before the quiz, so you know what the questions are when you are coming to the quiz. But the catch is that you're going to do the quiz on a lab computer. You cannot do it on your laptops. Lab computers are completely locked. You're going to have Notepad++ side by side beside the question, and you open Notepad++, save it as a CPP file so it can give you help. So when you're typing it, it auto-completes your words, so you can do it easily. You write the answer to my questions on Notepad++, then you copy and paste it as code snippet into Blackboard in a quiz, a midterm, final, whatever, and you give it to me. I don't do explain this and that. Maybe one question you hear from me, like to actually write something. Everything in my class is coding. You code for me. The only time that you're tested for concept is for midterm and final. So you have like 20 minutes, 25 minutes test, concept, multiple choice, fill in the blanks and stuff like that, and walkthroughs are on in there. But the rest is usually one question or two questions you are getting, and in that question you have several parts. You have to complete it and you have to give it to me. Okay, I have OCD on clean coding, which means you have to indent properly, you have to be organized in your coding. You've already programmed for a semester. If you don't know how to use a text editor, you're in much deeper problem than OOP244. So I expect you to write clean code and hand it to me. And I'll explain to you exactly how it's done, and I'm going to go through it in a second. The lab that you have is on Friday, right? On Friday you have a quiz. I call it quiz 0. That is marked by your attendance, which means it doesn't matter what you write. I see you gave me an answer, you get the full mark for it. What is in that quiz? It's an assessment of your C language knowledge. I'm going to give you a quiz on your IPC 144 knowledge. I want to know, what do you know before I teach you, so I can adjust accordingly. And I'm going to give you a very frank and straightforward feedback. Tell you, worry about your information, you're not going to succeed in OOP244 with this knowledge, or I'm going to tell you you're perfect, you're good, thank you, let's work together, or you have problem with pointers, work on module, things like that. So I'll give you feedback so you know what are your weaknesses so you can start up strong. Okay? Okay, that quiz is going to be on Friday. Okay? But to prepare you for the quiz, we have this. So as you see there, 2 of these are actually visible for you, which it wasn't. I'm sorry to. You receive an announcement from me, right? A message that told me you have to participate in a first class.
It was via the email.
Yeah, that's interesting. It was an announcement that I don't understand how it did not get open. I don't know. I have no idea. It's crazy. Anyways. So important information about programming tests and quizzes. So over here, it kind of puts it in a very small little 1, 2, 3, 4 type of a thing, how you do a quiz. When you're coming to the lab, your computers will, so if you have the computer on already, I automatically reset all the computers so the computers get wiped out. Then it comes up in a protected mode. You will only be able to open Blackboard via clicking on icons. You cannot type a URL. You type a URL, it's going to say blocked, because typing a URL is now fires up a search and then gives you a link you choose, unless you type exact URL with no spelling mistake, it's going to say it's blocked. So you have to click on the browser, either Chrome or Edge, to open it, and then click on Learn to go into Blackboard and stuff. That's the number 1, so you do that. Number 2, you open up My Apps. From My Apps, you're going to run Notepad++. That's the only application that is allowed to run anything. So you cannot even go on Start menu. You go on Start menu, you search, it's going to stop. It's not going to work. It's going to hang the computer. Okay? So you go on Notepad++, you open Notepad++, and immediately the very first thing you do, you save the file with an extension of .cpp. It doesn't matter what is the name. As long as the extension is CPP, it's going to autocomplete your typing for C++, and it's very helpful. Then you put your Notepad, this is important. You put your Notepad++ at left, you put your test at right. Divide the screen by 2, you increase the size so it only shows the question, then you have the question at left, the answer at right. You look at the question, you write. Very easy. And you go to the end. When the question is finished, you Control-A the Notepad++, you copy it, then you go to Blackboard, you go to the place that you are supposed to submit, and you submit it as code snippet. I'll demo it right now, okay? That you have a practice test for. So in here I have practice and agreement for programming questions. I told you that you don't read, and I prove it to you. I said the same thing to the students over there, so you have to go through. You see that practice and yada yada yada. You can do that. You can start that. It's a pretend quiz that you can actually practice it's in. So I'm just going to go do this for now. I'm going to say preview. So I'm going to come over here, quizzes, practice. So you start the attempt, okay? Start timer. You start the attempt. Oh, sorry, you shouldn't start. You should first load Notepad++. But this is what you see. In here, it says this is a practice question. Watch this video and learn how to yada, yada, yada. So the video shows exactly what I'm doing now, okay? Then for the second question, it says, I have watched the above video and learned how to do the programming, yada, 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 and I agree that if my submitted code is unorganized with flat or poor indentation, it will not be marked but receive a mark of 0. You click on that and you say, that is I agree. You submit. You don't do that, no assessment will be open for you on Blackboard. This is the prerequisite for it. Prove to me that you read it when you're coming to the lab, you have completed this. If you don't, you cannot see quiz 0. Look, of course, I'm going to make it available because it's the first one. But just to prove it that you're not going to do it, I'm doing it over here. So prove me wrong, please. Okay? So this is how it happens. So I want to do this thing. I'm going to open Notepad++ through my apps. So I already did it. Let me just open my app. So you open my apps, you go log in. It logs you in because I've done it so many times. It's here, so you simply type over here Notepad, and it does it. When it tells you, when you open this on lab computers, it shows you a prompt first. Would you like to make this to your default browser? Say no to that one. But the next prompt is important. To open apps, anywhere apps. Apps anywhere, something like that. By default, you select that one and you say yes. It is in the video, you'll see it. When you do that, then it's going to be easy. So anyways, you launch Notepad++, or you just type over here Note, and Notepad++ will come up, and you say launch. Because it's your account, you do it 2 times, it's going to bring it in quick launch. So you launch it, it's going to bring up Notepad++. And where is it? It should be somewhere. Oh, it's here. And it's going to open like this. So you put this, so this is your quiz. And this is Notepad++. So what you do, you bring this at right or left, whichever you prefer, and you put the other one at left. Where is it? Oh, I have so many things in here. This is the one, right? Now, let me just make this a little smaller so we can see. There you go. Now I can actually see what the question is. What you do, you go over here, File, Save As. Let's call it test.cpp, whatever. As long as the extension is CPP, you're fine. Now I'm going to say write a function that receives an integer from console in a foolproof way, whatever. So I'm going to write over here int get int and int val scanf %d address of val return val. It's not foolproof. I'm just writing something. All right? So now I want to submit this. What you do a Control A, you copy or right-click copy. You come down, you click on 3 dots, code snippet, and you paste, Control V. Okay, you can then submit, or you can go back and continue. So in here you add whatever, and now you want to Bring this back, again, Control A, Control C, you copy over here, Control A, Control V, and you put it back. So you keep doing that. Remember, keep doing that. It's better, like, when I say keep doing that, is that usually when it's 5 minutes before submission, do that, because it auto-submits. Many students say, oh, I had the whole answer, I didn't paste it. Okay? Do it like that, so you do it, and then you click on submit, and you're done. And that's how all the tests are done. Please practice this using this, and be done with it, okay? And you do that, then everything becomes available for you, because this is a prerequisite for the tests. Finalize this, and you're done, okay? You should be able to, I think I did a wrong thing over here. You should be able to see, oh, there we go, 10 out of 10 over here. This is perfect. It means when you get 10 out of 10, it means you're good. If you say no, it becomes 0, and it won't do anything, okay? So that's that. Exit, discard for the next one. So that's quizzes. Midterm and stuff, they're like 2 parts. So you have, for midterm, you're going to have an agreement for the midterm, which in that agreement, you're going to see what the questions are. So in that one, I'm going to tell you, you're going to write a copy constructor, you're going to write a copy assignment, you're going to make sure this cannot be assigned to something, like whatever it is, write a virtual class or create an abstract-based class that does yada, yada, yada. So I'll tell you what it is. Then over there, you agree not to cheat. The agreement that you have to do, you say, I'm not going to cheat, and I'm going to have my own answer, yada, yada. Again, when you say yes to that one, the 2 become available to you, and you can start doing it. The same thing for final. Okay, so that's it. That's policies of what we do in class and how we teach. The next one is going to be how we collaborate and how I help you, okay? So any questions down to this point? Suggestions? Objections? You good? All right. Workshop 0, something that you have to start now, okay? And it has to be done before workshop 1 is submitted. I'll put a due date for it, but this time I'm gonna treat you as mature people. Do it as soon as possible, okay? What is workshop 0? Is setting up your computer to work. That's all it is. So what do you do in workshop 0? It tells you to download a few things on your computer. If you have a Windows computer or Linux computer, whatever it is, or Mac, depending on what it is, it tells you what to download and what to do, okay? Visual Studio, how to download and install it. PuTTY, Telnet client, how to download and install it. Git, how to download and install it. Tortoise Git, that is File Explorer, I don't know what you call it, extension that helps you do Git commands using mouse and visual using GUI. You download that one. Then it asks you to create a private account for yourself on GitHub, something that you're going to own it for the rest of your life. So for your user ID, cat killer is not a good thing, okay? Put a proper name, okay? Something that someday you're going to be CEO of a company, or you're going for an interview. They Google your name, your GitHub account comes up. You know, the Mad Max is not a good thing. Put something nice. You know, I'm not saying be conservative, just be fun and cool and geeky. Okay, don't put stuff that people go, should I hire him or is going to beat me up? So okay, you understand what I'm saying, right? Internet never forgets. Okay. Why do I do this? Because I want you to get hired after you go out of Seneca. How you get hired, it's not with your resume. When they see your resume, they're going to take a look at it, see if it's nice and pretty. The very first thing they do, they Google your name. If there's no GitHub account for you coming up with your code and your work and experience in it and your badges, they're not going to hire you. That means this person doesn't know anything about programming. And this day and age, programming means collaboration. Programming means version control. And that's all, it's all done with Git. The one that you have created under Seneca organization is not public. It's not yours. It belongs to Seneca. It gets wiped out. So create your own, and I'm going to ask you to create your own private repository with specific type of things you have to do in it, and then add me as a collaborator. So I will have access to your GitHub repository. You have access to the GitHub repository. Then life is beautiful after that. That GitHub repository that you create, first of all, let me go through this. How many people know what is cloning? Okay, okay. She's like, I'm not going to answer, but so commit, pull, push. So we know all these things, right? Good, good. So this is the story. This is how it's going to happen. You create a repository, you clone your repository on your personal computer, and you clone your repository on Matrix. So your repository on GitHub will be cloned in two places, your computer and Matrix. You live and breathe C++ in your repository and nowhere else. Don't be a dinosaur. Don't start getting 5 copies of something to make sure you're not going to lose it. If you are working on Git, everything is remembered. You're not going to lose anything. Put everything on in your repository. Keep committing. So you are coding in your repository. You want to go to washroom? You say, going to washroom. Commit. Go. Come back. Continue. Want to go eat lunch? Going to eat lunch. Commit. Go back. Finish the first part. Finish part 1 of the workshop. Commit. Keep committing. Whenever you are connected to internet, push. Everything's going to go. Like that, I'll open your repository. I see this person has 152 commits. What does it mean? This person is studying. If I see you have a GitHub repository with 2 commits, and this workshop 1 and 2 perfectly submitted, immediately I have a question in my brain. Did this person cheat? Because it's impossible to have a building coming up. You have to start from the beginning. I should see you are laying the bricks one by one and coming up. If I see, poof, something came out of thin air, what does it mean? Seriously. Okay? Apart from that, be aware. Every single submission you are doing is going to be done through a program called Submitter on Matrix. So you don't give me any files. All you do, when everything is working, you have done it properly on your computer, you push it to GitHub, then you log into Matrix, you pull. So everything comes to Matrix, right? Now you're logged into Matrix. You go to the directory of your workshop, or whether you type ~fardat_Soleimanlou/submit, and you put the name of the workshop. You hit enter. It grabs the files, compiles, runs, executes, tests. If everything's okay, if it has minimum requirements, it sends it to me. Done. But it will also compare every submission to all submission done now and 10 semesters before. So essentially, it breaks down your logic like a DNA pattern and compares to logic to all the submissions that are done before. If a match comes up, it flags it. And we see that it's copied from someone else. So be aware, okay? I don't want to surprise you. Because of that, we have citation, which means you are more than welcome if you're stuck and part of your application doesn't work to get the code from someone else. I do not care. That's a reality of development. He's working on it, and he does everything, but the foolproof entry doesn't work. Ask her, I didn't do that. It's not working. It's due in 2 hours. Can you give me your code? She says, no problem. She gives her code. He copies the code. He cites, I got this part of code from Jane. From here to here, it's not my work, it's Jane. Jane's going to say in her reflection that I gave that one to Jack. Jack has that code. I read that thing. I'm going to say, thank you, Jane, for helping. And Jack is going to get 95% instead of 100 because of that 5% of the code done by someone else. Nobody cheated. But if that thing doesn't come up, I see the logic of the foolproof entry is identical to Jane's. And I look and say, whoa, this is exactly the same. It's only variable names are changed and the function names are changed, things like that, then an AI report is going to be filed. So be careful, okay? You can cite, there is no problem, and please don't cite, I got the entire workshop from Jane. You can't do that. You can, you're not going to be charged for plagiarism, but you get 0, okay? Because you got the entire thing from someone else, okay? But that's very important. So citation, if you don't have a citation, at the top of every single file that you are submitting, the workshop's not going to be marked. It's going to get 0. So that's extremely important. And it's at the beginning of the workshop. So when you are looking at the workshops, workshop 0 is the one that I told you have to do it as soon as possible. So this is the one that tells you how to set everything up, okay? And it has tutorial video for every single thing. Install this, install that. Everything's up there. So that's preparation for your computer. That's nothing. But when you're going to workshop 1, don't start workshop 1 yet. I think I'm going to change it. Just do the workshop 0. If I can't do it in a day or 2, then I will not do it. But all the workshops are exactly the exact same thing as last semester, okay? You're adult people. I'm giving you something to practice and learn. If you get it from someone else, please. I don't want a perfect code. I just want you to try to do it yourself to learn. Don't shoot yourself in the foot by getting it from someone else. It doesn't make sense. Anyways, so if you look at this, do not modify the main tester. Anyways, in here it said, before you begin, you must read and understand workshop regulations and policies. Again, I'll prove it to you. You're not reading. You have to read this. There is stuff over here that is very important. What is the due date? What is coding? What are late penalties? Citation policy. What you're gonna have in citation policy. And look at this over here. You see this? I have done this like this, and I have done. So it tells you exactly how to do the citation. You can use this format or use your own. But please don't copy and paste it. Literally, they put this, and I'm not joking, like this. Copy it and put this at the top of the file. And I look at the file, it says workshop question mark question mark. That's what I'm just getting as citation. And it says module whatever. Seriously? That's the extent of not reading. They just say, this is the citation, poof. Please read, please. It's not that, anyway, you know what I mean, right? Anyways, so follow the instructions for this and you'll be fine. How to compile stuff, it's exactly over here. Submission, how it's done. So this is how you submit. So professor name, professor last name, submit. Then you put the subject code like 244/workshop1/ this is for reference. The top one is lab _ NAA. That is your section. So that is the lab for NAA that's going to get submitted. As simple as that, okay? Yeah, and that's the submission. I'll demonstrate it for you later on. You'll see it's pretty straightforward. And it gives you exact message. Like many of you like to have their own custom code. You write stuff, you have written stuff that you kept it in a module and you want to use it for something else. You can even do that, but you have to submit it in a different way. So it tells you exactly how it is. And that's that. Coding style, how to actually write. So either like this. So stick to your coding style, whatever you have. This one that I do is the people who created C started coding like that. And I'm that old. So I have that style, okay? If you want to do any other style, by all means, but stick to your own style. Don't, in one line, don't do one and then the other. That's confusing. Okay, so that's that. Naming conversions, like how do we actually name stuff? Everything's there. So take a look at it and you'll see exactly how things are working. And that's that. Yeah, that's workshop 1. Okay. The due date for all the workshops and stuff is through submitter. So we don't put over there. You can write tilde yada yada submit. You put the workshop name. You put -due at the end and you hit enter. It tells what is your due date. You may be a student with accommodation. If that's the case, your due date will be different. Or you may have asked for an extension. Then your due date may be different, okay? And section by section, the due dates are different. Another thing is that you are submitting the work from a lab computer. You cannot do it from your own computers. So you have to come to lab, you have to log into the lab computer, open up PuTTY, log into Matrix, and do the submission from there. But you can always complete your implementation at home. There's no reason, there's no need for it. And the submitter command has a feature that tests it without submission. So you can actually test with submitter to see this is okay, so there's no surprises when you're coming to lab. Whew. Sorry, it's boring, I know, but this is the first session. First thing I have to go through it thoroughly. And that's that, I think. Let me think. Oh, I had something over here to explain. So introduction, quiz, workshop, project. Workshop, we talked about quiz, project. How the project is done, project is one program that you're writing. This one program that you're writing is a big program, okay? It's literally an application you're developing. So we guide you through it because you're not analysts yet, you are programmers. So we're gonna act like your analyst. We are gonna tell you what to write and what to develop, and we call each step of the development a milestone. First 4 milestones that you are going to do is gonna be the engine of the application. So milestone 1, 2, 3, and 4, it's gonna be engine of the application. One develops a menu, the other one creates, you'll see when you get to it, okay? So each submission of these will get you 10% of the mark of the workshop. But the catch is that all these 4 must be submitted. These are mandatory. You cannot not submit milestone 2 because these are the engine. The submission for these 4 must be completed. When it's done, then milestone 5 comes up. Milestone 5 is the application running, okay? Which is built on the engine that you created. This one has 6 stages of submission, which means for each submission, we are checking one feature of the application. We don't want you to write a complete program to get 100%. It's impossible, and you get bananas. I want students, if they don't have time, they can do 80% of the project. So the 6 parts of it, each one will get 10%. So if you just be able to read from the file and load the information, you get 10%. If you are able to modify a record and do something, you get another 10%. So one by one, it goes through it, and the total will be 100%. For a project to be markable, for a project to be assumed complete, not complete, markable, you must submit all 4 and at least one of the 5, and you're done. If all 4 and one of the 5 is not submitted, your mark for the subject will be an incomplete. Then, if you have a passing average, then another due date will be set next semester, which is actually the due date for them was yesterday. And you have to submit the project the way I told you, at least the minimum amount, for a mark of 0 to pass the subject, okay? Otherwise, you won't pass the subject. So you have to give us a working project, we call it, okay? So that's the project. And done. After this, so when the class ends? 1:30? 1:25? When? 12:30. 39 to, we have time, because it's not a lecture, I'm not going to give you a break. I'm just talking like crazy, right? So we're going to probably go a little early instead. Anybody wants a break? Like, no. Anybody wants a break? No. In a way, I'm saying anybody wants a break, that don't ask for it. If you want a break, you can go for a break and come back and we continue. Anybody wants a washroom? You want to go? Break? No. Yeah. Question. I'll get to the question. No break? Okay. Now, questions. Oh, wait. We need to hear what the question is.
It's about the project. How long will we have to actually be able to do it? Like, what week does it start?
So
What
the
week does it
project will be
last?
released. The project will be released a week before midterm.
Okay.
So you have around 2.5 months to do it.
Oh, okay.
2 months to do it, approximately. Or no, one. I don't know. 6 weeks. Sorry, like that. 6,
And-
7, 8 weeks.
And
Something.
each milestone, do we have like a set amount of time, or can
So,
we just do all of them at
thank
the
you
same
for the
time?
question. So, the milestones are like this. The milestone, they have soft due dates,
Okay.
which means we give you a due date, and we say, to be on track, this is your due date. But even if you are 1 week late, you get the full mark for it.
Okay.
That's the milestones. Milestone 5 has a hard due date. For all 6 submissions, you have a due date that is a day before your final assessment. And every day that you are late, you lose 10%. So milestone 5, let's say it's due on the 10th, then 11th, you get 90% on each, the other one 80, and it goes down to, okay. And that's how it is.
Okay.
Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, anything else? Questions? Suggestions? Objections? All right. First, I'm going to give you a bit of lecture. So essentially, I'm going to talk about what the heck we are doing in this semester. So in around 15 minutes, I'm going to teach you the entire semester. 15 to 20 minutes. Everything that you need to know entire semester. Then I'm going to spend the entire semester to teach every single thing that I talked about in this 20 minutes. So essentially, I'll give you the idea of what needs to be done. How to do it will be the entire semester. You understand what I'm going to do? After that, if we have time, I'm going to teach you how to use AI to learn. Because you're all going to use it. And you are supposed to use it. But you need to learn how to use it. So I'm going to teach you that. Okay? If we don't have time, I'm going to teach you that in the lab session that you're coming in. We good? We good? All right. All right. We ready? Close your eyes. Everyone, close your eyes. Don't, she's not closing her eyes. Close your eyes, close your eyes. I want you to imagine what I'm going to tell you. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. You had a hard studying night and you're deep sleep. Very quiet. You hear, hello? You think you're dreaming. You hear, hello. You open your eyes. Open your eyes. You look around. No one's there. What do you feel? Peeing in your pants? You're not sure. You turn on the light. You look around, and suddenly from your ears here, hello. Seriously, think about it. That's C programming. C programming is a language that you have actions happening, but nobody owns the action. Things are happening. They don't belong to anyone. Now, let's go back. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. You hear hello. You open your eyes. You see your 4-year-old sister is over there saying, I'm scared. I want to come sleep with you. Suddenly it's the most beautiful thing ever happened. Why? Because hello had a source. You follow what I'm saying? This is what we're going to do this semester. We're going to teach you how to replicate the real world into your applications, because that's how the real world works. If Farda talks, my sound comes. If I say hello, I say hello. Say hello? Hello. That's a different one. It is hello, but it's a different one. We both greeted someone. But my greetings and his greetings are different. Why? Because the owners are different. You follow? Now I'm going to go to coding. Coding, okay? In C, I hope you remember, you created structures, right? Why everybody's sitting so far from each other? I have to come over here, take this, and walk to this gentleman and put it. Actually, he's eating. I'm gonna. So you're gonna answer, then you're gonna give it to him. So when he. Okay. What did we create a structure for? Oh, wait, I forgot to tell you the rules. This is how I teach. I put over there the talking stick, okay? And I ask a question. If in any way you can answer the question, first of all, try to be wrong, because that's how I teach. When you say something wrong, I fix it and it goes to the next person. This forces everybody to concentrate on what the heck is going on and commits it to long-term memory, okay? So when you hear something, and if you know the answer, you must be quiet. The only time that you can raise your hand, say, I'm gonna put people out of their misery, is when you hear 3 passes. So if she doesn't want to answer, she's got to say pass. I pass the microphone to the gentleman with the chocolate cookie. Okay? So, sorry. That's one of the things that I do. I put somebody in spot and I try to be funny. I know it's not really funny, but I'll do my best. Anyway, so if you hear passes 3 times, then you can raise your hand. You answer the question, microphone comes to you, and it continues. Okay? So never sit beside the smart guy in the class, because you're going to always be next. Okay, are we good? Okay, do you remember why we created structures in C?
For declaring functions or?
For what?
Declaring functions?
No, structures don't declare functions. What do they do? It creates a personal data type. Wow, that was an interview answer. That wasn't the kindergarten answer. That was an interview answer. Why do we create structures? To create personal data types, which means, what is a personal data type? What do you think it is?
It contains like attributes of some of a subject.
Again, attributes is a very OOP244 type of a thing, but in an IPC language, what did I tell you attributes? That's nice. You are creating.
Like, okay, variables.
No, fantastic. We put variables in a structure because.
So we could call them.
Okay. Opera voice. La la la. Be loud. Okay. So you have to be loud. Okay? Please, go ahead.
So if we need to use another example for same person but with the same attributes, we call them from the structure.
Oh, did you guys took OOP244 before? Or you studied before you come over here? What you're saying is not C. What you're saying is actually C++. We are not doing that, no. We are creating a structure in C just to create a record. Put related information beside each other. Like, for example, if I want to create a rectangle, I create a structure. I'm going to create a width and a height, because width and a height belong to a. So I want to create a record of relative stuff. You are perfectly right, by the way. Though I'm not saying that it was wrong, but it wasn't a C answer. It was a C++ answer. So we create a rectangle, and we put width and height in the rectangle. That's how we created structures. Now, if I wanted to print that rectangle, what did I do? Huh?
You call the struct to get that? Sorry.
No, you don't call it a struct. Structure is a record.
Right. I'll repeat the question.
Okay, the question was, I have a rectangle structure, and I create an instance out of it. So I say struct rectangle R, and I have R dot width 10, R dot height 20. So I have a rectangle. I want to print this. I want to draw a rectangle on a screen. What do I do? In C language. Do you remember? We create a function. That function creates receives an argument, which is a rectangle, correct? It grabs the rectangle, prints it. Are we good? This is the scary thing that I was talking about. Hello thingy that I was talking about. You have a print that is receiving a rectangle and prints a rectangle. It's not like that. If you want to talk, there is no talking booth. I would say whoever wants to talk must go to that booth to be able to talk. Otherwise, we won't be able to talk. It's not like that. We all have the talking feature within us. So what C++ does, it takes that print and brings it inside the structure, which you did not have in C. So your rectangle will have an integer width, an integer height, and a print function that doesn't have any arguments. Why? Because it belongs to the rectangle. It knows what is the width and height. It's part of the rectangle. If you tell me, how are you? I'm going to say, I'm fine. I'm not going to say how he's fine, right? Everybody knows how their own attributes are. I'm going to ask this question in the lab. This is called encapsulation, putting the data and behavior together for whatever we have. And that's how everything is in the world. I have a flask over here. This bottle, flask, whatever you call it, it has tea in it, contains tea. That's that one. It has orange juice in it. The drink function of this bottle gives you tea. The drink function of that one gives you orange juice. They're both drinks, right? But each one knows what is supposed to be. What is a past tense of drink? Drunk? Okay, right? You follow what I'm saying? Okay, so that's it. Put the data and behavior together. If you tell me to say hello in my language, I'm going to say hello in my language. If I ask him to say hello, it's going to be a different thing. Why? Because the language attribute of this gentleman is different with me. We are both saying hello. I'm saying in one language, he's saying in another language. You follow what I'm saying? That's putting the data and behavior together. That's the very first thing we're going to do to be able to replicate the world. Number one. Number two, how did you reuse code in C language? Functions. We wrote functions. Whenever we wanted to do something over and over, we wrote functions so we can recall the function over and over and over, correct? That's not in C++. In C++, you don't write a function because it's repeated. You write a function, it's because it's behavior of something. You add the function drive to a car because a car should be driven. You don't. How do you reuse code in C++? In C++, you design something. For example, a bicycle. A bicycle works perfectly. It has two wheels, it has steering wheel, it has pedals, brakes, fine. Then somebody comes and says, I'm lazy, I don't want to pedal. I want to have a motorcycle. So what do? Do they start everything from scratch? They won't say no. They say motorcycle is a bicycle with an engine. Poof, code is reused. But how? With inheriting design, which is called inheritance. Whenever you hear is a, inheritance is involved. Laptop is a computer. What does it mean? It means it does everything that a computer does, but it adds mobility. Cell phone is a computer. What does it mean? It does everything that computer does, but it adds telecommunication or whatever to it, and mobility, right? You follow what I'm saying? Is a, you hear it, that means inheritance in real world. Right? I'm going to say, what do I say? Other examples. Everything's. Mouse is a pointing device. It means it points to something. So is the touchpad. So is the trackpad. So is the laser pointer. They are all pointing devices. It means their job is to point at something. But laser pointer is a pointing device that just points. Mouse adds the possibility to select and more stuff to it. So we all know what's going on. We good down to this point? Okay. This is called inheritance. So is a relationship is always inheritance. You hear is a, it means one class is being inherited from another class. By the way, when you encapsulate data and behavior together in a structure, to make sure we understand this is not a C structure, we call it a class. And that's an OOP, that's an object-oriented terminology. A class is a package that contains data and behavior together. Okay? That's why we call it encapsulation. Okay? And inheritance is to have one class make another class out of it. That's inheritance. We good? Anybody dances here? Dance. Don't you look at anybody over here dance? Nobody dance? Seriously? What happened to people? Seriously? Okay. So, say I know how to salsa, and someone else know how to tango. If I say tango, it is dancing. If I say, let's salsa, we are dancing, right? It sounds like inheritance, right? But it's not, because it's an action. Actions cannot be inherited. Actions are morphed to another thing. We have a flying object. A pigeon flies. An airplane flies. Helicopter flies. Missile flies. They all fly. But the action of flying is different. They morph to something else. That's called polymorphism. Polymorphism happens all the time. Always, always. You have it in everything. Every single thing that you have that's like, for example, she's writing with, what do you call that pen thingy that you have? With an Apple pencil. I have a ballpoint pencil. Okay, we are both writing. My writing is doing ink on a page. Her writing is an electronic thing happening and getting digitized and going to the thing. They are both action of writing, but different ways, and that's polymorphism. So doing the same thing in different ways, it's called polymorphism. Encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphism. You put these three things together with synergy, you have an object-oriented design. The whole semester, we're going to tell you how to implement these three. There is one more thing that we need to know that I mentioned that is somehow confused with what these are called 3 pillars of object orientation: inheritance, encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphism. There is a 4th one that is mistaken. It's called abstraction. Anybody knows what abstraction means? Actually, you answered, didn't you? You did? You did not. What's abstraction? Do you know what abstraction is? Pass. Okay. Abstraction.
Removing extra data.
Lovely. That was an amazing thing. Removing extra detail. Wow, I've never mentioned it that way. Okay? Extra. It means something that is not needed, correct? And the need is always different. You follow what I'm saying? What is the example for it? First of all, you know what abstract art is, right? Have you ever seen abstract art? I never liked it.
Yeah, where that?
It's kind of nuts. Like somebody draws a triangle with 2 dots, and you say, "What the heck is that?" It's a lady dancing. I'm like, "What the hell?" Like, that's the way the artist sees the dancing of a lady. Okay? I don't understand it. Why? Because that's his abstraction of a dancing lady. What happens, how abstraction happens in computer programming? I have a finance department whose job in Seneca is to give OSAP to students. Ontario, do we still have OSAP? We do have OSAP, right? Yeah. Yeah. And we have an education department whose job is to teach stuff to students, right? Now, if some programmer wants to create a student class in a finance department, what the variables of the students going to be? By the way, my friend, whoa, everything moves in here. When we talked about encapsulation, so in structures, you have variables in structures, right? In classes, we call them attributes, okay? So attribute, when somebody says attribute, it means a variable inside the class. Functions inside the class, we call them methods. A method is essentially a function who has an owner. It just doesn't stand. It's not a standalone function. In C++, an attribute is called member variable. And a method is called a member function. But in object orientation, it's attribute and method, and that's why I'm using that. Because if you go to any language, when you say attribute, they know what you're talking about. We're good? Okay. So I was saying, if you are working for the finance department and you want to have a class for a student, what do you put? You put student name, you put student number, then you have to put a balance for the student, how much the student owes you, initial payment, monthly payment or weekly, whatever, all the things that you have with a loan, right, for a student. Maybe you have a GPA over there to make sure that the student qualifies. That's the extent of it. But if you go to education department, now you create a student. Yes, you have name, you have student number, then you have semester, then you have number of courses taken, then you have what courses I've taken, what mark for each was it, which professor taught that thing, which semester the course was taken. So it becomes all educational. They are both students, but completely different. That's abstraction. You ignore the extra things, but depending on what you do, the definition of extra changes, and that's abstraction. That has nothing to do with object orientation. You do that all the time when you're programming. Okay? But in object orientation, it means, you know what it means. We good? Okay, so this is exactly what we're going to do throughout the whole semester. And that's what I'm going to teach you. Okay? Questions? Suggestions? Objections? This is the least amount of students I had in the biggest class of my own, of my life. I mean, like I have like 5 students sitting in 200 seats everywhere. It's amazing. Anyways, next time come closer so I can, let's be more personal to all people who are sitting at the back seat. AI, how to use it. Okay, let's do it. So the next day you are coming in, we're going to actually talk about all the good stuff that we, so when you are coming for the lab, I'm going to start with, literally I'm going to open up the notes and go through the notes. I get each title and talk about it. It doesn't mean that I'm going to cover everything in there. We are in college. I cover things that I need to make my point to be taken across. I'm not going to cover everything in there. It's your responsibility to go through the notes, see what I missed. Next time, come with questions if you have. And also, I may give you more stuff that are not in the notes because I find it necessary. A class is a very dynamic thing. Someone will ask a question, and answering that question requires to give information that are not in the topics that we are covering. Be aware. We good? Are we good? All right. I wanted to ask you something after introduction and stuff that I completely forgot. Before we start learning how to use AI, any specific thing you want from your prof that you didn't have it and you liked your prof to do other than give you marks for free? Anything? Any?
Question. When you're doing the quizzes,
Oh.
the midterms, the finals, do you check if the final code works, or you check on
Oh.
do you understand
Okay.
the concept?
Let me see if I can demonstrate it to you. So I have written a program called Rubric. So what I do, I design a question like this. I think of a problem and I program it first. Then I take the program, convert it to a question, as if what should I have asked for this to be the answer. Then I take that one and tag it. I have created a markup of my own. Tag that one for marks. I feed it to my rubric program. My rubric program brings it up and says this. I look at your code to see if you have covered that. You asked me how to mark, how you mark, right? So if you covered that in any way, you get mark or partial marks. So when you receive some feedback from me, the feedback is going to be very in detail, and you're going to see exactly this went wrong with comment, this went wrong with comment. So I get feedback to you with everything, and you get the detailed marks. And I make mistakes all the time. Any professor who marks, after the fifth thing that you're marking, you're already hypnotized. At that time, you ask my name, and I don't know what it is. Seriously, it's a mind-numbing thing to mark. Ask any teacher what is the worst thing in your job, they say marking. I make mistakes. It's your responsibility to check your answers with my feedback, and I always have the correct answer, a version of a correct answer down there. Analyze it. If there is any mistake before the due date, so I'm going to tell you, you have 2 weeks to tell me if something is wrong, and I'm going to fix your mark. So you go through it, you make sure everything is good, and if there is a little doubt that this could have gotten half a mark more, you contact me, I look at it. If you deserve it, I will give it to you. And it happens all the time. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay.
So in case there's a typo error in the system.
No, I don't care about typos. No. See, if typo happens once, you're fine. Okay? But if I see you keep repeating a typo over and over and over, then that's not a typo anymore. It's a mistake. So if you forget a semicolon, I don't care. It's a semicolon. It's a test. In workshops, I have eagle's eye on. If you put a comma is not at the right place, and if you do something, your code is not organized properly, you get your marks get deducted. So workshops are the things that you have time for a week to do it. So I expect you to do it properly. Tests, how can I expect you to do it? I make 50 mistakes when I'm typing over here. I cannot expect you not to do the same. So if your logic is sound and you're writing things properly, you get the full mark. I don't deduct that way, okay? But again, repeated typo is mistake. You may lose some mark, but not everything has detailed marks. Let's put it that way. I'll demonstrate later on in a lab or something. I don't want to waste the time. We don't have that much time. Yeah. So I'll explain that. But I'll demonstrate how I mark. I actually show it to you so you'll see exactly what it is. Any other question? Well, thank you for the question. Any other question? Suggestion? Objection? Okay. If you find anything I'm not doing right, I'm not one of those people who holds a grudge. If you correct me as soon as you can, when it's not too late, I'll try to fix it. I've been doing this for 27 years, 26, 7 years. So this is what I love to do. So yeah. We good? Okay. AI. Seneca gives you access to Copilot, the paid version. okay? Your choice if you want to use it or not. Or any other flavor that you like, there's absolutely no problem. I know you're going to use AI, there's no problem with it. You should learn how to use it because that's the reality of life now. But I need you to understand two things. First of all, we have two types of AI. We have AGI and GAI. Anybody knows what's the difference between the two? Artificial general intelligence and general artificial intelligence. You don't know? One is a myth, a dream, a science fiction, and the other one is the one that we have now. The one that we have now is a large language model whose job is essentially put the first word and guess what is the highest statistic probability of the second word to come after that to be the correct one. And it keeps doing that, and that's how you get all the things that you're getting. Okay? That's how the neurons work. The other one is the one that doesn't need that. It can innovate. The AI that we have can only do things that is already done. It cannot create new things. Okay? And because it has the knowledge of the whole internet, somebody has done something somewhere. So it finds the most probable answer to it and it makes horrible, stupid mistakes. I mean, I give it things to write and I'm like, right, and it writes something is like 35 lines and I'm like, seriously, that really happened a few days ago. And I asked it to write a function because I don't want to code now. Just because it writes for me, then I'll grab it and I'll fix it and I'll give it and do like that so it's faster, right? So, and it's like 35 lines of code and I'm like, dude, you can write that in one line. What the heck is this? And immediately, I apologize. You're right. And then it gives you the same crap again. So don't trust it. It's not, it gives you good answers, but it's not that reliable yet. So be careful. How do we use AI? So I'm going to use ChatGPT as an example over here. So I'll go ChatGPT, and I'm going to log into it with Reg. It's an email that I created for these type of things. Look at me. This is me. Thank you. Okay. All right. And again. So I already did the demonstration for the other class. So the very first thing that you need to do is to create a project. Don't just start doing a chat. It doesn't work. So first go to the project, new project, create a new project. Whatever platform you are working on, flavor of AI you're working on, you can create a project in it. You create a project. So in here, I create a project, learning C++. This one is programming. Let's use this one. I don't know what is this. Oh, class templates. No, not this one. I'm going to delete that. So as you see, there's a chat over there I'm deleting. So in here, let me go to this one. Maybe this one's better. So you create it, and then you immediately go over here and you say edit instructions. Now in your instructions, you specifically mention who the AI is and who you are, and be very honest. So I'm telling to the AI, you are a C++ tutor with 12 years of experience. So that's what my AI is. I don't want to say 30 years because it's going to go bananas on me. So you're going to see. So you can modify this later on. I'm enrolled in OOP244 at Seneca Polytechnic, and here are my study notes. And I'm putting a path to the study notes, the ones that we have. So you see this? Seneca 244 study notes, that URL. I put it over there. I have passed IPC 144 that is needed before OOP244 with a D, and I'm very weak in C programming? Be honest. Or, I am an expert in C++ and I'm going to kick your butt. Write that. Doesn't matter. Anything that you think you really are. Then, you're going to say, I am going to give you the specific note to study. Then you teach me the topics with no code examples and ask me to write what I learned and then tell me what my mistakes are without giving me the correct answer. You have to mention it to it. Then, let me correct my own mistakes with your guidance. You can always fine-tune this as you are going through. So you save it. Then for each thing, you start a new chat. So in here, what am I going to learn? Let's say dynamic memory. I want to understand what I am at the dynamic. Let's go to over because it's going to be, usually you should start from welcome to object oriented. Okay, so I'm going to go over here, types, overloading, and references, and I'm going to copy that. Today, we are going to study this. Remember, actually, I'm not going to say remember. Let's begin. And you write along. Okay? So, I'll explain ideas conception. So it goes through it, explains everything as it goes through. So you have to read these. You cannot just pass through. Read exactly what it tells you. And keeps going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Keep going, keep going. Now, wait a minute. It's asking me concept stuff. I want to learn how to code. You don't say over here, hey, you're giving me a thing. Ask for more code. Don't do that. Go back, modify your question. Edit. Teach me by letting me do coding and correct my coding if I make a mistake. By letting me do coding. Whoops. Now it's going to change its mode. Okay? And you continue. One chat that you are doing, keep it for one topic if you're lucky. If you see it's going bananas, because if the chat goes too long, it forgets what was at the top. Okay? Then you have to start a new session. Okay? So it's a good idea if you have like 5 different topics, that these are the notes. Teach me this and this and that. Not the entire thing. So you go with it, and hopefully this time it's going to actually ask me to write code. There you go. See? Now it's just 3 lines of thing, and it went through. It says over here, your first code. Write a complete C program that declares one integer, one double, assigns to both. So you write that code and give it to it. Then it's going to check the code and give you feedback. What's the time? 19. Let me do it. So write a complete C program. I'm going to say over here, void main. And don't do it here. Do it on a text editor and try it and stuff like that. I'm trying to just do something, right? So it says declares one integer, one double. So I'm going to say integer I. Whoa! You see I made a mistake? Just stop it, edit it, and do it again. That's why I said do it. Let me just do it somewhere else. That was awful. Oh, where's my Notepad++? There you go. This is better. Okay, so then in here I'm going to say double D, then assign values to both. A is equal, I'm going to say I is equal to 2.2, and D is equal to 3.3. Then it's going to say print both values using console cout. So I'm going to say cout I and D. Copy and paste. And get feedback. I wrote such a crappy code that, so instead of the correct thing is this. So it actually tells you what's going on over there, okay? Void main is not a standard. I can't cause problems. So it tells you how to fix stuff. Assigning 2.2.2 an int. I is an integer. Assigning a double like a trunk is the thing. It explains to you what mistakes you made, and then you go through it, and it says, hey, you did that. You have to use you don't know what using namespaces yet. We'll talk about it. So it tells you all the good stuff. It says, now rewrite your program and correct these mistakes. So now rewrite and keep going. Like this, I guarantee an A+ in OOP244 and guarantee a 4.0 of GPA in the program. You do it like this, don't give in, and believe me. Now, are you willing to pay 40 bucks, 35 bucks a month for an expert tutor to tutor you? If you are, it's not a bad idea to subscribe and use the paid version because it's better. This is a crappy one. If it's a good one, first of all, after 5 back and forth, it's going to say you reach your limit. Use Copilot with Seneca account. Probably that's going to work. I don't know. Okay, I personally didn't have much. I don't know. I didn't like Copilot that much. Gemini was good. Grok is amazing, but sometimes it goes bananas. ChatGPT was pretty good too. So I would do that. I know it's for a student's considerable amount of money, paying 35 bucks. Maybe start it with subscription, and if you get good at it, then cancel your subscription and go free, because you're going to be better at it. And if whenever you see, oh my God, it's problem again, then start again. If I believe they don't have any penalties for anything, like if you can just cancel your subscription. But it's, seriously, it's 40 bucks is like the price of a hamburger these days. It's not a bad idea to do that, okay? That's how you do it. You do it like this, and I guarantee you'll be just fine. Questions? Suggestions? Okay. How do I teach? Okay, thank you very much. I'm not going to continue. This is how I teach. I start Visual C++, and you're going to learn doing this all the time. So for the first few times, I'm going to do it as is. I'm going to go through the entire process. But as soon as you get familiar with this, then I'm not going to do this over and over. I'm just going to make the project ready. So I start a project. I create a new project, a C++ project. It must be an empty project and nothing else. And then you click on Next. Then you select where you want your project to be. I want it to be in the NAA section. So you do this in your repository. Don't do it anywhere else. And follow my instructions to the point. Remember, follow instructions. If in the README file I'm telling you name, section, subject, section, student number, email, and you put your email first, I don't like it. Follow instructions. One of the most important things is to create. Anyways, go through it and you'll see what I mean. Anyway, so I create this, select folder. Make sure you click over here to say place solution and project in the same directory. A solution is a set of 10 different projects. We are writing a loop to print 5 numbers. We don't have that. So project and solution are the same. Now in here, usually I name it like this. I'm going to say A, January 7th, which means today's session. and that's going to be the name of my project, and it's going to create the project in Visual Studio. After doing that, we are ending. It's 12:30 or 12:35? 12:30. Okay. So, okay. I have enough time. So now you have the Solution Explorer. If by mistake you close it, don't worry. Do not have anything open. It opens Tracer for you, Copilot, 1.5 million things. Close them all. The only thing you need is Solution Explorer. So I'm going to go View, Solution Explorer comes back up. I'm going to put it over here so it's naked. Right click over here, Add, New Item. For now, we are using C++. So in here, I'm going to say prg.cpp, and it creates the file for me. Now in here, I'm going to say include IO stream. Streams are anything that, data that gets streamed like a series of flowing things coming out of input or going into input. Those are streams. Now in here, I'm going to say using namespace std. I'll explain later on what that is. Int main, return 0. Always complete your block before you continue. Never write integer main open and first complete the block, then fill in the blanks. Always. Most editors do that now, but if it doesn't, do it yourself. C out, insert to C out, welcome. To OOP244 NAA. Insert a new line. Control F5 runs and compiles the program, compiles and runs the program, and it runs it. Cout is an object, console output. Okay? It's console output. That two less than thing, it's called an insertion operator. It inserts whatever you want into the console. The first thing is a C string, right? The second thing is an integer. The third one is a C string again. The fourth one is a new line. That insertion operator is a polymorphic operator because it does the same thing in different ways. You give it a string, it prints a string. You give it an integer, it prints an integer. Did you put a %d over there? No. It knows what to print. It's polymorphic. Okay, we're going to learn how to do all these things. And what is a namespace? Using namespace. So what happens is that, I'm going to mention it to you in a minute. Let me just push this first. So as soon as I do this, and I want you guys to have it, what I do is this. I'm going to go to the repository, right-click on the repository, and go to Tortoise Git, and go to commit, and push at the same time. So commit and push. I'm going to click on all. When I say all, because I created my .git ignore properly, it will ignore all the garbage and only submit the code and nothing else. Make sure you follow my instructions in Workshop 0. Now in here, I'm going to say NAA, welcome. Commit and push. And as soon as I do this, if you go to the notes, you will see over here it says NAA welcome, and if I go to NAA, you will see over here is January 7th, and this is the program I have written. Anything I do in class will immediately go up there. You don't need to take notes, okay? And the good thing is that in here I can do something like this, saying hello. Save it. Now I'll go back over here, and I'm going to commit it again. I don't need to add anything because it's already added. I'm going to say added, comment. Commit and push. it goes back up. The beautiful thing about Git is this, that when you go back here, it says added comment, right? It was this before, and it was that after. So this is how I help you. You push your information into Git, you contact me, I have a problem. I'll pull your repository because I'm a contributor. I'm going to open up your code in front of you on my screen, share my screen, fix your problem, make sure it works, give it to you. Your responsibility would be to reflect about it, how I fixed it. Just do a diff and see what's the difference. It was this, Fardat did that. This is how you fix my code. And like that, you know exactly what I did to fix it for you. This is an amazing feature in Git, okay? I'll tell you the story behind it later on. You know about Linus Torvalds? You don't know Linus Torvalds? Holy no. All right, one person knows it. I know. Anyways, go Google it. Anyways, but we'll talk about it. Anyways, we're good? Yeah, so we'll talk. So I'll go through namespaces and stuff the next day you're coming in the lab, okay? So this is for today. Have yourself a beautiful day. Oh, wait a minute, questions? Question one? Yes, go ahead.
When is the lab zero due?
Before workshop 1. Okay, so our workshops, real workshops, workshop 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, they have due dates. Workshop 0 is for you to be able to collaborate with me. So I'm not going to put a hard due date for it. But let's say it's due by the end of the week. Okay? Please do it as soon as possible. As soon as possible. And if you have any problem, contact me. Okay? Be good? All right. So at the end of workshop 0, I'm asking you to submit something to me. I haven't opened it yet. I'm going to go open it. I forgot. The other class that I couldn't submit. So if you create the repository and I'm the collaborator, I'm good. But I'm going to add the submission too so you can actually submit. Any questions? 1? Any question? 2? 3? Sold. Have a good one. And I stopped the recording so you can actually access it later on.